Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Lollipop and we have yet another Trek Marlin update, this time to the brand new 2024 Trek Marlin 4 Gen 2. In this video I'll compare and contrast all of the parts and features of the 2023 Marlin 4 with this new 2024 bike, so you can decide which bike is the best for you. I'll go over every single detail that has been updated for the Marlin 4 in 2024, and there are a couple of good upgrades that I'm happy about, and then I'll complete this table to highlight all of those changes in one place when I give my thoughts on the new bike. So stick around to see these updates, and please subscribe to my channel and like this video if you do enjoy. So the Marlins in general are beginner mountain bikes from Trek, but they can be used as durable commuter bikes as well, especially in the case of this bike, which is actually the least expensive Trek Marlin available in 2024. For this comparison video, I'm only going to talk about the parts on this bike that have been updated for the new year, so if I do not talk about a specific component in this video like the frame or the brakes, it means that those parts are the exact same ones found on the 2023 version of the Marlin 4. So like it or not, the Marlin 4 is still using the Gen 2 version of the Trek Marlin frame, which is the same frame that has been used on the Marlins since 2020, and is therefore not the brand new 2023 Gen 3 frame. This is going to be a pretty quick video since we don't have a ton of updates, and normally the first change I would talk about is the pricing of the bike. However, this bike has not been officially released yet, so I don't have the official pricing. But my best guess is that it will be a little bit more expensive than the 2023 model, probably sitting at around $600. I'll add an update in a comment below once I found out the official pricing, but for our first update we have some nice new color options. So as a refresher, the old bike came in three main colors for 2023, which were a Voodoo Aloha green color, Alpine blue, and Matte Trek black. The new bike now replaces these with four new colors, which are Living Coral, Matte Hex Blue, Crimson with these red accents, and Neaster Black. Okay, but for the actual component changes and upgrades, the first change we have is to the saddle, which has been swapped out from the Bontrager Arvada seat to the Bontrager Verse short saddle, and this is a change we're seeing on all of the 2024 Marlins since the Verse saddle is more comfortable than the Arvada. The stem also has a minor update since both bikes still use the same Bontrager alloy or comp stem, but the length has been updated in the small frame size bike to make it shorter, which will give a slightly more upright seating position on the bike for that frame size. Pretty small changes so far, but now we have our biggest change and also our last change to the Marlin 4 from 2023 to 2024, which is the drivetrain upgrade. So the 2023 bike used a mainly Shimano tourney level drivetrain, which is actually Shimano's lowest end drivetrain, so you can really only move up from here, but this bike had 3 gears in the front crankset and 7 gears in the rear cassette for a total of 21 speeds to choose from. These days in the biking world, more speeds just means more weight and more components that can malfunction on your bike. So the 2024 Marlin 4 has now swapped out this drivetrain for a mixed Shimano tourney and Altus level drivetrain that now only has 2 gears in the front crankset and 8 in the rear cassette for a total of 16 speeds. For the specific components, I'll put them all on the screen right now so you can see them. So both bikes use the same model of shifters and rear derailleurs, but the front derailleur on the new bike has been upgraded to a Shimano Altus derailleur, which is definitely smoother and more reliable than the tourney. The crankset has also been changed from the Shimano tourney to a Pro Wheel crankset, which is not a huge difference in quality, but it is a necessary change to have the 2-gear system instead of the 3 gears. And finally, the freewheel is the same level as well, but the new bike just has a wider gear range, and overall when you look at the gear ratios on these drivetrains, you'll notice that the 2023 bike actually has harder gears for going faster, but the 2024 Marlin 4 now has easier gears for climbing uphill. This makes the Marlin 4 a little bit more suited to mountain biking and trail use than before, which is a great change to see in my opinion, but it still retains enough gears and speeds to make it comfortable and usable on the road as a commuting bike. And lastly, Trek gives us the official weights of these bikes on their website. So for a size medium frame with inner tubes installed, the 2023 bike weighs 31.75 pounds, while the new bike goes up a bit to 32.19 pounds. And I'm not exactly sure why it's heavier since not much has changed. And honestly, it should be lighter actually since the drivetrain is lighter, but It may just be since these weight values are more of an average and sometimes certain bikes can be heavier than others depending on the frame construction and all that, so it's more of a general estimate here. But that's it for the video, everyone. Here is the completed table with all of the changes. And for my thoughts, I think these updates are great for the new year. There aren't too many changes, but I think what they have implemented is good, since I personally still want the Marlin 4 to be an affordable entry-level mountain bike that people can use to get into the sport on a budget, so if we kind of start upgrading it too much, it'll become too expensive relatively. I love the 2x8 drivetrain, and I believe that's the sweet spot between mountain and road, so overall I think this is a great entry-level bike to get from Trek. Please let me know what you all think by leaving a comment or question or suggestion down below. But besides that, thank you all for watching and liking and subscribing. And as always, remember to keep biking out there.